Yes. All right.
Wow.
You in?
Statement. What did we just hear? That Tom Brady threw to 9 different guys. Now you're adding a 10th, who, when he was starting his career, was on his way to the Hall of Fame. Let's not be silly. He might have been out of football for a couple of years or a couple of seasons, what it seems like. And a lot of that was self-inflicted issues that he put on himself. But Antonio Brown still got juice in his leg. I saw him throwing with Russell Wilson. If he can come in, fit in, play a specific role on this team, you're talking about a wide receiver group led by Mike Evans, who's easily top 5, Chris Godwin, who proved he's top 5 last year, and Antonio Brown, who proved to be the best receiver of his era. This is going to work.
It's a fantasy disaster. I'm out on it. I think they were already a top team. I think that this was their deepest position, adding to it, and frankly, it makes me like them a little bit less. I'm out.
All right, respect. I'm going to go in. Antonio Brown's a weird guy. I'm not sure Antonio Brown is a good guy, but I don't think there's a dozen football players in any position in the world who are better than him. Like, I think he is that unbelievably good. And I don't know if you just take Scotty Miller off the field and say, sorry, thanks for everything, Scotty, but we got Antonio Brown. What are we going to do? And they have the number 3 defense in the league. I think it does. I think Antonio Brown is that good of a player, and apparently Brady wanted him that bad. I'm in. No doubt.
I don't know if the jersey number has been revealed yet. I hear it's something in the 80s. That's my rumors and my sources out of Tampa Bay. Cameron Brate wears 84, so we shall see.
Okay.
All right. Cowboys quarterback Andy Dalton did not participate in practice yesterday. He's in the concussion protocol. We saw the Cowboys struggle last week when Ben DiNucci came in as his replacement. So my statement is this, and this is me pulling this out of thin air.
Go on.
The Cowboys should try to trade for Saints backup quarterback Jameis Winston before the trade deadline.
Oh.
We in? Or we out?
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Starting with me? Okay.
Do you need me to do it again?
I'll say yes.
You got it?
No,
I'll say yes. I like everything
Go
you're
for
doing
Jameis.
today. I like everything you're doing today, Straights. Get Antonio Brown to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston, let's trade for him in Dallas. You know why? Because we know at the very least, Jameis Winston is going to grip it and rip it. He's going to let that thing go. He's going to throw the ball downfield. Now, whether you want to make jokes about the 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, that's fine. But if you're a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys right now, wouldn't you want a quarterback that is going to let that thing go? And we know Jameis Winston will. I say do it.
All right, let's say it's for a second-round pick, which draft capital is everything. Would you trade a second-round pick for a rental for 6 weeks or 8 weeks of Jameis Winston?
Yeah, because they desperately need a quarterback that knows a system that can go in there and let that ball fly.
Did you think about it from the Saints' perspective with Drew Brees? Don't they need Jameis Winston with everything you've seen from Brees this year and last year?
I got faith that Drew Brees is going to make it.
You do?
This season. Yeah.
I love hearing that. Great. Okay, I'm going to go out on this one because I think we all were gushing over Andy Dalton being that signing that was going to be the best signing, the best move made. And it might be Jameis Winston. That might be their actual future in this thing. I trust Sean Payton to get the best out of Winston. I'm not making this move if I'm the Saints.
Okay, I'm making it if I'm the Cowboys. 2 thumbs up, like Borat. Subsequent to movie team. Yes, never mind the Cowboys team, the Saints team. What about this team? What about the 4 of us? Let me paint the picture.
Use this.
The first game the Dallas Cowboys play after the trade deadline is home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Can you imagine a game with Jameis Winston with a star on his helmet playing against the Steelers? He might throw for 1,000 yards. He might throw for 100 interceptions. I want it. I'm here for it. Frankly, Peter, the Cowboys could trade him for Taysom Hill to play quarterback, and it would be an upgrade. Jameis, yes. And also, Jameis has a punchline. Like, all he does is get kicked in the dirt constantly for the way he plays. I'd like to see him get it back on the field. I think he's a good player, and he's had a tough run.
You know, the names you're hearing are Jameis Winston as a possibility, which I don't know if that would actually happen, but Ryan Fitzpatrick. People like to throw out names because... Darnold, because the Cowboys at this point, they're still alive.
Yeah,
they're still very much alive.
Their roster is loaded.
So Ben DiNucci might be a nice story, and maybe he is the next Tony Romo. To hear a name like Winston or Fitzpatrick, it might be the move. All right.
Hey everybody, welcome to Good Morning Football. Today we're presented by Rocket Mortgage on a very special Thursday, a very special October 29th. Gentlemen, happy 1,000th episode of GMF.
Are you kidding me?
No.
This is episode 1,000 of this program with the 4 of us lunatics.
1,000.
How do you feel? How's everyone feel?
1,000. Wow, they said the kids say keep it 100. I guess we say keep it 1,000.
Okay. Peter, your thoughts?
Sure. We say keep it 1,000.
That's right.
I like that. That was good. No, I think that felt...
Does it seem like a lot or a little to you?
That's a great question. Every morning it feels like a lot, but right now it feels like a little. I'm just so happy to be back with you guys in studio.
I'll tell you this, Peter. Sopranos didn't have 1,000 episodes.
Oh!
Game of Thrones can only muster 73. When we were doing our 73rd episode, we're debating whether the Broncos should start Mark Sanchez or Trevor Simmons.
You're right.
We're blowing past those shows. Cheers, get out of here.
West Wing, get out of here.
It took probably thousands of people to make our show what it is, through the years, through the episodes, the daily grind of a 3-hour live show. So we'll be celebrating that all day long. Things are looking a little spooky here in studio as well. And we are hours away from Thursday Night Football. It's time for the Leave Block. That's right, guys. Tonight, it's Matt Ryan leading the Falcons into Carolina to battle Teddy Bridgewater and the Panthers. Falcons, Panthers. It's tonight, Thursday Night Football, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox, on NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. Let's get right to where it's all going down tonight. Our very own Randy Moss is at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte this morning. Randy, welcome to the show. You were also a part of our show in our first year back in 2016. Can you set the scene for us down in Carolina? What's the mood like ahead of this Thursday night matchup?
Sure, Kay. It's literally the calm before the storm here right now. Believe it or not, and I'm kind of a weather geek, right? I've always wanted to be a hurricane reporter. But you look at the weather apps, and we are in Charlotte, a tropical storm warning right now. Hurricane Zeta is supposed to make its way at warp speed through the upper southeast part of the United States today. But it's not as bad as it sounds for game time tonight. I mean, we're supposed to get some possibly heavy rain like 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe early afternoon, and then it kind of goes away. I mean, we're supposed to get even 40-mile-an-hour winds here today, but by game time tonight, it's supposed to be just light rain, although it could be a little windy. They'll keep the tarp on, as you see behind me right now, as late as they possibly can until the mid-afternoon hours. But it looked like a couple of days ago, like it could be really dicey tonight for the game. And, of course, Charlotte here is known for having some pretty interesting weather situations, being an outdoor stadium and with a Bermuda grass field. But it looks like we've kind of dodged the worst part of that. And even with no fans or very few fans, that's good news for tonight.
Randy, you're all over it. A little weather, even a little botany with the Bermuda grass. How about some football? Randy, Christian McCaffrey, we've been hearing updates all week. Whether or not he could play, a reference you would appreciate, he feels like a thoroughbred who's been in the paddock. When can we get McCaffrey on the field? Could it happen tonight?
And he might have a muddy track if he's on the field tonight, right? Whoa, the NFL Network has been reporting all week that it's a long shot that McCaffrey actually plays tonight. So do we expect him to play? No. But as you see, the rain may be starting to spit a little bit right now. But we don't know right now if he's going to play or not. And there's a couple of factors that go into this. First of all, they don't have to declare this week his game status. They don't have to say he's questionable, he's doubtful, because he's on the designated to return list coming off IR. And the Panthers could literally take it until this afternoon, or 90 minutes before game time, when they have to declare inactives, to put him on the active roster and then actually play him, if that's what they choose to do. Now, Matt Rule has been saying all week that it's out of his hands. The decision's going to be the doctors, the trainers, McCaffrey himself. So it's kind of a risk-reward thing, right? I mean, if they say, okay, we're going to wait another 10 days and play him against the Chiefs next week just to be careful. We beat the Falcons 3 weeks ago without McCaffrey. We have Mike Davis. We don't necessarily have to have Christian, okay? But suppose you get to the end of the season, he could have played tonight, and they're one game out of the wild card, and there's a what if. What if we had played McCaffrey, but we lost to the Falcons at home in Week 8? On the other hand, if it does turn out to be wet tonight, right, this is just conjecture. Here's a guy coming off a high ankle sprain. If the footing is a little bit unsure and you have a guy you're asking him to cut like McCaffrey cuts on a field that's not exactly 100%, might that be a little risky? So if they're actually serious about playing him tonight, that might come into the equation as well. Do we expect him to play? Probably not, but we'll see what happens tonight. We don't know.
I love it. Mike Davis has been such an amazing standout in the shoes of Christian McCaffrey. I'd like to see him get one last hurrah under the bright lights of Thursday night football. Thank you so much, Randy. Talk to you in a bit. Let's talk about the Panthers, guys. They're one of those in the hunt teams that we talked about in that column on the full screen yesterday. 3-4, tough competition in the division. They got the Bucs and the Saints. With the win tonight, could the Panthers make a push for the NFC South crown? Let's start with Nate.
All right, I'll start. Yeah, can they? Of course they can. You know, when you look at what this division is, what do we know? We know that the Buccaneers are going to be in there. We know that the Saints are going to be in there. What else do we know about this division? We know that Teddy Bridgewater is a winner. We know that he's helped 2 different teams get to the playoffs. We also know he's second in the league in completion percentage. Why am I saying that? Because Teddy Bridgewater has enough, not just at his disposal, but I'm talking about he has enough as a quarterback. So the question is yes, but after winning 3 in a row, they lose 2 in a row. So this game is very, very important. They got to win this one if they want to get back on track.
I look at this as house money for the Panthers this whole season. I have no expectation of them winning the division. I don't think they had expectations of them competing with the Saints and the Buccaneers up to this point. And yet, here we are, right? Like, they're playing in this game. The Falcons are a doormat team. They can get this win, and suddenly they're right there in the standings. I look at the guys who they're missing, or they missed last week in that tough loss to the Saints in New Orleans. You look at these names. These are star players. Like, McCaffrey might be the best running back in the league when he's healthy. Turgros Matos was an early draft pick out of Penn State who they love. Douglas is a corner. Burris. They get Russell Okung back. Like, all these guys eventually are going to return, and then maybe they make their push. But is this team going to topple the Buccaneers or the Saints? Realistically, probably not. Probably not. They're looking at a wild card right now. Is what I'm thinking right now. I don't see this team suddenly having this magic with a first-year coach, first-year offensive coordinator, first-year quarterback with this team. It's all house money. To me, always, the Panthers are a 2021 team. Okay. The fact they're even playing in this and having this conversation right now with all the youth on that roster, I think this is great. I think it's just gravy, and they should win tonight.
But what if they flip the switch, you know? What if they make a run? What if they get hot? What if crazy Matt Rule has them playing electric football? They're going to need weapons because Tampa's loaded, New Orleans loaded. They're going to need guys that maybe aren't household names to become that. And that brings us to the Curtis Samuel portion of the program. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Curtis Samuel, maybe you don't even know him if you're a periphery fan. Second-round pick out of Ohio State, a guy who is from Brooklyn, here in New York, went to Erasmus Hall High School in Brooklyn. Here's the deal as it pertains to our show. He came on the show in studio a few years ago. We fell in love with him. Just loved his presence, loved his athletic ability. We started calling him the Brooklyn Baller. And since then, in the years since then, not a month goes by, certainly not a season, when one of us does not say, Curtis Samuel, it's going to happen. He's going to be a star. Here's a taste.
Yes.
I was so excited about Curtis Samuel's rookie season.
It's Curtis Samuel's intangibles, because that's what makes him special. And what he's built for is perfect for this offense. So he could be that ultimate X factor in this game.
He played running back at times for Ohio State. He played wide receiver for Ohio State. He can do it all, and I think the Cat Pack is something we're going to be talking about on Monday, and Curtis Samuel's going to have a breakout game.
I'm going to go with the Brooklyn Brawler. That's my guy, Curtis Samuel, and I think he has a breakout performance tonight. I think he has a huge game.
That was Peter hyping Curtis Samuel and taking a bite out of crime. The thing is, it's starting to happen. He scored a touchdown last week. He's become their move the chains guy.
Dude,
not what you would think.
They play him at running back.
Running back, he's got at least 4 carries a few times. He's got a bunch of third down conversions. It's starting to happen. Cat Pack, Brooklyn Baller, Brooklyn Brawler. It's finally happening. Our show finally looks good.
He's the Brooklyn Brawler.
Brooklyn Brawler.
The Brooklyn Baller.
WWF, Brooklyn Brawler.
Right, but he's a baller. Brooklyn Baller.
We named him it.
And I've been coaching Pop Warner for the last few years. And I tell you what, anytime we take a trip from New Jersey across the bridge to New York, they talk about him like he is a legend.
Oh, yeah?
Literally. He was unstoppable when he's in Pop Warner in high school. So we want to see that in the NFL.